Jai Shri Ram. Firstly, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to Mr. Steve Cooper for inviting me as a guest on the radio show of the conservativemonster.com. Mr. Steve Cooper is one of the bold and brave soul I have ever encountered with. His flawless vision of seeing things and foresightedness towards the fast coming danger is really appreciable. People like Steve are inspirational force behind millions and millions of youngsters all over the globe. I once again thank Mr. Steve Cooper for encouraging the brave Hindu fighters who are fighting the Islamic onslaught for more than 1400 years. Now let's come to the subject of today's discussion. My dear brothers and sisters, when we talk about the US Army, do we pronounce them as Christian soldiers? Definitely not. Today I am going to talk about the Christians in the US Army, in the US Air Force, in the US Navy, Marines, FBI, CIA, the US government, etc., etc. If you take a glance at the Muslim countries of the world and their armed forces, you would realize that almost each and every action of the Muslim armed forces are motivated by Islam and teachings of Muhammad. Why this is not the case with Christian armies? The reason is this, that Christians all over the globe have distinguished religion and work. So their activities do not reflect the teachings of the New Testament. Christians are Christians by word only and not by work. They even go further and indulge themselves in all sorts of lusty and materialistic products of the world, like pornography, drugs, especially weed, alcohol, not following the Christian dress code, abortion, laws regarding homosexuality, etc., etc., etc. Going to churches on Sundays alone will not make you a true Christian. Oh Christians, I give a call to you to come back to your faith, come back to your roots. If you believe in Trinity, the Father, the Son and the Holy Spirit, you will never compromise your position at any cost. If we want to save this planet from destruction, we must start a widespread movement to make Christian youngsters aware of their glorious past. Many of the evil forces of the world like communism, atheism, socialism, secularism, so-called liberalism, etc., etc. are all byproduct and consequences of Christians becoming less Christians and ignorant and naive about their own faith. Then he said unto them, But now he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip. And he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. Gospel of Luke, chapter 22, verse 36. O sons and daughters of God, have you forgotten the crusaders of the 11th century? Their pious blood, their brave DNA is still in your veins. You must never forget the sacrifice and sufferings of your forefathers, the great crusaders. The reason you exist today is only because they existed then. You exist today because crusaders fought days and nights without a sleep, only for the truth to prevail. The freedom you take for granted today is not your asset to gamble. You have not earned it, so it's not yours to put it at stake. You and I need to be 100% vocal about the situation we are facing today. It's not the war of few radical Muslims against the Western civilization. It's in reality a war between the Muslims and non-Muslims of the world. Islam and Quran has polarized the world into two, Muslims and non-Muslims. It's us non-Muslims who fail to realize the polarization. We need to form an organized non-Muslim coalition against the Muslims. This is the only way of preventing mankind from extinction. As the time gradually passes by, you would realize that this war is not to defend freedom or protect some religion or belief. It will become a war between good and evil, between just and unjust, between the human race and inhuman barbaric race. Don't bother to warn the disbelievers. Allah has blinded them. Theirs will be an awful doom. Surah Al-Baqarah, that is chapter number 2, verse number 6. Non-Muslims will be punished by Allah for their non-belief. That is chapter number 3, verse number 19. Let not the believers take disbelievers for their friends in preference to believers. Chapter number 3, that's Ali Imran, verse 28. Don't believe anyone who is not a Muslim. Ali Imran, that is chapter number 3, verse number 73. Christians are disbelievers for believing in the divinity of Christ. Chapter number 5, verse number 17. Jews and Christians are evil livers. Chapter number 5, verse number 59. Allah will destroy non-Muslim cultures. Chapter number 7, verse number 138, 139. The religion of truth, that is Islam, must prevail by force if necessary over all other religions. Chapter number 9, verse number 33. These are just a tiny proportion of verses with which Quran is overwhelmingly full. Now let's talk about some statistics. Money spent on cancer: $11 billion on breast cancer, $2 billion on prostate cancer in just one financial year of 2005-2006 in US alone. Money spent on AIDS: $5.1 billion in US from 1981 to 1991. If we can spend so much money on research and cure for diseases, why can't we spend a tiny amount of it to de-Islamize the world? My dear brothers and sisters, this is the message to all the NATO forces, the Mossad, the KGB, the MI5, the FBI, the CIA, etc., etc. If you want to win the Afghan war, Chechen war, Iraq war, war in Ingushetia, war in Somalia, Sudan, etc., etc., then you must start a huge campaign of evangelism, and also you must help every Muslim who wants to convert or leave Islam by every possible mean, like security, finance, easy law for conversion, etc., etc. When I talk of evangelism, there is a reason behind it. We don't want a person who is leaving Islam should become atheist. The gap, the vacuum that gets created after someone quits Islam must be filled. Otherwise, there is a high possibility of him reverting back to Islam. But the irony here is this, that the campaign that I am talking about is already existing, but not from our side. It's in effect from the side of the Muslims. Every year 20,000 US citizens are being converted to Islam. So all my non-Muslim brothers and sisters, join hand with the elite Hindu fighters against our common enemy. All the political leaders who believe in Jesus Christ must be proud of their faith. Christian political leaders must make educate laws to punish anyone who quits Christianity. Quitting Christianity or Judaism and accepting Islam must become a punishable offense. All the non-Muslim countries must have harsh punishments for illegal Muslim immigrants, reinforced border policy against Muslim countries, and strict law of immigration. In the end, I would like to honor the brave men and women of the 21st century. There are few heroes and patriots and stars you are acquainted with. They are Arnold, Mel Gibson, Paris Hilton, John Travolta, Van Damme, Amitabh Bachchan, Will Smith, Lindsay Lohan, Madonna, Tom Cruise, Rambo, Superman, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Catwoman, Batman, etc., etc. If you think these are the real heroes and freedom fighters of 21st century, then you need to think again. I have a small list of the real heroes. Mr. Robert Spencer, Salman Rushdie, Irshad Manji, Walid Shoebat, Ayan Harsi Ali, Steve Cooper, Ali Sinha, Bridget Gabriel, Wafa Sultan, Glenn Beck, Michael Savage, Khayyam bin Peshak, Noni Davish, Sanjay Gandhi, Geert Wilders. May God bless them, may God bless them, may God shower them with blessings. It's because of these real heroes the ray of hope still exists today. Jai Shri Ram. Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat.